We're live.
We're live, boys. Welcome to another episode of this Team Soul podcast. We don't have another name for this, so that's what we're calling it, at least for now. I'm very happy to be joined by two gentlemen today. We've got Tomas Sandoval and Ben Liebisch. Tomas has been training with us for how many years, Thomas? Do you know off the top of your head?
Since 2021, so 5 years.
Okay, so Tommy's been proudly training at Soul for the last 5 years. Tommy came into the gym immediately with a lot of energy of wanting to compete right off of rip. And naturally, like the same way we advocate for plenty people when they come in with that same energy, is we really pushed him to cut his teeth and spend time in classes. I find, in my personal opinion, so many folks nowadays come in and are finding out about CrossFit through the CrossFit Games, through competition. And we're in the last 5 years, we've gotten more people coming in saying, I've never done CrossFit, but that's what I want to do. That's a very new thing, because traditionally people kind of develop their way up there, and through their journey in fitness and in CrossFit, they decide they want to compete. Now, with the growth of the CrossFit Games, really since COVID, we've experienced people coming right off rip saying, this is what I want to do. And, we were really big in pushing Tommy to first cut his teeth and refine his craft in classes, and learning that, just that experience, that communal experience, spending time doing benchmarks, doing the open, and just developing the right way, starting with beginners competitions, etc. Fast forward, Tommy's competed at extremely high levels. He's done an internship with us. He's now one of our head coaches. And I'm very proud and happy to, a lot of people know this, but make the public announcement that Tommy is fully handling and coaching our affiliate programming. That might be one of the first times that we've had a new developing coach completely handle our affiliate programming. Tommy's done a really good job at educating himself at what's happening in the space, what's current, but also he's done an incredible job at becoming a student of CrossFit and knowing about what the OGs have done.
A little too much sometimes.
And we really put a lot of trust in him. Something else that Tommy's doing is he's managing with support our competitive design. The reason he's here today is because today we're going to talk about the Open and what our affiliate classes, what we're doing in both locations to prepare for the CrossFit Games Open. We're also joined today by Mr. Ben Liebisch. Benny has been with us for how many years, Ben?
10, going on
10.
11.
Benny had a long history of CrossFit, endurance sports, adventure racing as well, I think, a bit.
Yeah.
Prior to joining us, he spent his time with a couple other affiliates before coming to Soul. And, man, right when Benny joined Soul, he became him and his family all became staple characters in the Soul picture. As far as like supporting me and us with like our competitors, Benny has a unique background in wrestling and other sports, so he brought a different flavor to our leadership. Over the years, as we started to get into other sports like running, other endurance sports, wrestling, and grappling, Benny has a lot of knowledge and experience in all of these different spaces. So 2 years ago, we decided that we wanted to level up with Benny and put him in a position where he can share some of his experience and knowledge in endurance sports with us and guide and lead our Team Soul running and endurance initiative at both gyms. What's unique is they both have experience in both. Tommy's competed in both, so has
I won,
Benny.
by the way, Hyrox, for the record.
And they're both. Coach, Ben, are you registered for Hyrox this year? You are not, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm doing a team with Sean.
Let's talk about this first. Tommy, what is the Open and who is it for?
The CrossFit Open is a 3-week competition. Simple. It's only 3 weeks, right? There's going to be a workout release on Thursdays, but we're going to do it on Fridays. and it's easiest. You sign up and you do the workout, right? It's you compete against global competitions. Who is the CrossFit Opens for? It's a good question, right? The CrossFit Open is for everyone. Whether you're a seasoned athlete, you're an elite athlete, you're just starting out, it could literally be your first day. The Open is for you, right? It's a way to challenge yourself, and measure your progress, and be part of the most important part of be part of a global community, right? So no matter where you are in like your fitness journey, the Open is for you. Especially if you listen to this podcast, most likely the Open is for you.
The Open for folks who compete in CrossFit, it's kind of like stage one. And the Open is where they have their initial tests. And what I think is very unique and special about CrossFit is CrossFit found a way to have the professionals, right? So those Tia Claire Toomey's, right, be able to share the same leaderboard and same experience as someone like my mom.
I agree. I mean, that's something special about CrossFit. Like, there's no other sport where you could be in the same level playing field as the professionals. And the CrossFit Open literally gives you that. You're doing the same workout. Literally, I guess Tia Claire Toomey herself.
Yeah, I think that's such a unique aspect of CrossFit. And I also think there's parallels between CrossFit Games Open and Hyrox in regard to that as well. There's this like one simple, unique, shared suffering that everybody can have the same experience. And it's interesting because you would think, oh, the fitter you are, the easier it's going to be. And I think CrossFit is one area where they flip that, where that's not always the case.
Yeah.
Really, the better you are, the bigger of a challenge you have, or the more
harder
fit
it is,
you
yeah.
are. Yes, for
The
sure.
faster you could go, the more reps you do.
Yeah, so the Open, I think we're all in agreement, is for everybody. You know, day one fitness people to folks who have been doing this for 15 years. Tommy, why should somebody go through the exercise of paying $20 and signing up for the Open? Because we're doing these workouts for free. You know, like we're not charging anybody at our gyms more to do them. It's going to be our workout of the day on Fridays, except for workout number 3. You know, why should somebody go and invest $20 if we're already doing them?
It gives you access to the global community, right? It's bigger than $20, right? It's you get a chance to stack yourself up with everyone, and honestly, when you sign up for something, you put more pressure on yourself, right? You want to do better because you are in the leaderboard, so you hold yourself accountable instead of just doing the workout, and you might end up not trying as hard as you were if you signed up.
Getting your community behind you to participate with you is huge. There's another aspect of those leaderboards that I don't think people talk about enough. CrossFit's put a lot of work into developing pretty sophisticated leaderboards. I'll use Coach Benny as an example. He can filter the fittest 40-year-old firefighter in West Miami with
From
gray
Philippines.
hair from the Philippines. Right? Like, you can really customize your leaderboard to compete with your homies, to compete with your contemporaries, to see what other people across the world, where their general fitness is. And again, you can filter by ability, disability, goals, age group, version of the workout, etc.
Even gym.
Yeah, even gym. You know, and CrossFit also does a very good job at developing progressions and scales, you know, because there's likely going to be a workout come out that has some advanced movement in it, a muscle up, a handstand walk, a handstand push-up. But the way those are always structured are a way that everyone can participate, you know? After years, sometimes these workouts get programmed and people are scared because they don't have the skills or whatever the case is. And just know that CrossFit does a very special job at publishing workouts that have a why to them. You have to work yourself to be able to earn that muscle up or whatever the case may be. You know, so there's really no... I just really want to emphasize, like, day one people can and should do all of the workouts. You know? Tommy, how are we preparing for the Open in the gym?
I have right here, as you can see, the leaks. Right, 2026. CrossFit Open workouts. Every Friday we're gonna do every Friday or Monday. We're not sticking to one or the other, but most likely Fridays. We're gonna do an open like workout. Okay, so it could be either something very similar for the open, so something very short, high intensity, or literally repeat of an open workout. So for example, it could be 20.1 or whatever. And then also, very important thing that we're doing is throughout the week, we'll also be working on specific skills. For example, toes to bar, chest to bar muscle ups, ring muscle ups, and most importantly, double unders. Right? Most of you guys, double unders shows up every year, especially double unders and toes to bar. And typically, when in our affiliate workouts, when we do built-in gymnastics, we have like for example the handstand play or the hanging gymnastics. This time it's going to be a little more specific to the specific skills of the open. So those what I mentioned, chest to bars and toes to bar and bar muscle ups. We're going to do more specific progressions for those things.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but what I'm hearing, the best way to prepare for the open is
It's simple. I know what you're going to say. You just do the class.
Yeah.
You gotta be consistent with doing the affiliate classes. At minimum, at least 4 to 5 times a week.
Yeah, and I would say if folks feel like they need more, training hall in either of our gyms is a great opportunity to come and work on specific skills. No matter who you are, sometimes our training halls get a bad rap that they're only for competitors and they're only for the highest level guys and girls. But in reality, if you feel you want a bit more attention on certain skills, training hall is the best place to go. So, affiliate classes, training halls, if you want to prep for the open. I think that's the answer that we got for you. Let's talk about the importance of data collection, benchmarking, doing the open over and over and over. I feel like we're talking so much to day one people in their first week, month, first year, first open. We're really pushing those folks to feel comfortable and framing what the open is for them. But what about somebody who's been doing this for 5 years, 10 years, again, 15 years? Why do they need to continue doing this? What's the importance of that?
I mean, the importance is honestly so you could track your progress, right? And data collecting, so that way you can see what you need to get better on or how to get better at something, and if you have gotten better or not. That's why it's important to test and repeat everything. That's the best thing about the open. It gives you literally every year what you place in a global competition. If you've placed 45,000 in the world, and then the next year you got 35,000, and then you can see if you got better or worse throughout the years.
Yeah, that's essentially in CrossFit, in fitness. We use series of benchmarks to make sure that our fitness is trending in the right direction. So like in the traditional gym space, that question is like, hey bro, what's your bench? Right? And over time, if your bench is increasing, you feel like you're putting positive work into fitness and you're getting fitter. While that makes sense and all, in CrossFit, in fitness, for us it's benchmarking. That's why data collection and having those points over time is so important.
For CrossFit is what's your friend time?
Yes, correct. That is like like what's my bench? What's your Fran time? We've been talking about also in our affiliate programming featuring benchmarks more as well. Stuff like those names like Fran, Karen, Elizabeth, which are just as important as those open workouts. As you guys start CrossFitting more, you're going to start to recognize names like 18.1 is a benchmark in itself.
And gives you a good opportunity to like learn about the history of CrossFit. When I do put a repeat workout, I want you guys to not only feel excited about it, but also go back and watch the videos and see how the top level athletes perform the workout, their strategies and stuff. It gives you opportunity to learn how to attack a workout.
And if you really dig in OG CrossFit open workouts,
you might find Danny.
You might find some familiar faces from the gym, not just me, but some older athletes, some coaches you see around. You'll see around the gym and guests that we have doing all kinds of open announcements and stuff like that. So,
and one last thing I'm gonna say with the data collecting, it's I mean, we make it easy for you guys, especially with Sugar Watt, right? Most of you guys do a good job of it, especially in Miami. As soon as you're done with the workout, you could just submit your score, and then that data is tracked there. So let's say, for example, the next week, like 10 weeks later, I program Karen again, for example, you could go back 10 weeks back and see what your score was, because most of us are going to forget. So,
Coach Ben, Hyrox time, talk to me. What is a Hyrox?
Hyrox is essentially for CrossFitters who don't know, or people in the fitness world who don't know, it's a workout where you're going to do continuous 1K runs, and in between those 1K runs, you're going to have basic movements like ski. You're going to do rowing. You're going to do burpee broad jumps. You're going to do 8 different modalities or 8 different exercises, and with the amount of running that you're going to do, I think it's going to be a little just over 5 miles of running altogether. So Hyrox was basically invented, I would say, or to be the competitor to CrossFit, to make it an entry-level event where people, I guess, like we discussed earlier, it's like doing your half marathon, right? So you can have elite runners, or you can have someone who's just starting to get into running for the first time. So the amount of skill, I would say, differs from, say, CrossFit, where you need to have specific skills like a muscle up, or you need to have certain strength numbers. That bar is pretty low. However, the similarities with CrossFit is the fitter you get, the harder it gets, right? So you're pushing your heart rate, you're pushing, going from, aerobic capacity to this anaerobic capacity at points, depending on how fast you go. Or, the fitter you are, it truly does not get any easier. So it ranges anything from, it could take you 50 minutes or it could take you 2 hours, right? So it's a broad spectrum of time that an athlete can do individually, or as a partner, or as a relay.
I call it like, not that it's easier, but the movements they've chosen are, like you said, very low barrier of entry. It's great for day one people. Like, fitness dependent, almost anybody can do a Hyrox. And when you look at the folks that register, it truly does look like that. Hyrox, in my personal opinion, it kinda is like your neighborhood Thanksgiving 5K. In Miami, we do the turkey trot every single Thanksgiving. And that's kind of the energy I feel a Hyrox should adopt. In our spaces, there are people who are trying to be full-time Hyroxers and choosing Hyrox as their full-time fitness modality. We're not doing that at our gyms. We kind of look at it as a 5K, and we get very stoked on them, and we are going to prepare for them, and we're going to have some unique programming that, but we just really want to put out that energy that, yes, we can participate in Hyroxes and we can advocate for them. We like them. We think they're cool, but we're not a Hyrox gym. We're not, we don't subscribe to this all year round.
Well, we don't need to.
Right, correct.
We have built something between Thomas's program, between my running program. If you follow us year round, and you follow the running program, and you follow, CrossFit workouts, you do, I'd say 3 a week, and you run twice a week on my programming, there's no reason that you could go without ever doing Hyrox, like a simulation, right, of doing, like we set it up for you. You could go there and go, okay, I can do this. Easy. Stress level's low. Comparative to someone's like, man, I got to get that bar muscle up. I've never done handstand push-ups. That's completely different. I think we've set it up perfectly at our gym where we don't need to specifically say Hyrox. The combination of what Thomas and I do, I feel like we find the right formula for success.
I think that embodies everything that we do so well, and I would like to remind everybody. Sometimes I feel like CrossFit as a whole, people in the community get so far removed from the original intention behind CrossFit, but Coach Benny just said it. We are not specialists. The goal behind CrossFit is not specializing in any one thing: running, rowing, deadlifting, Olympic weightlifting, whatever that is. We are generalists. We specialize in not specializing. That is the original energy behind CrossFit, where any CrossFitter can jump into any modality: running, swimming, any physical test, and do okay. We're not necessarily supposed to win, and we don't have that claim, but you can take someone who is truly CrossFit and plug them and put them in any of these modalities, skill dependent obviously, and they will be able to hold their own. That's the idea. And I think our gym is a great example of that, where these folks don't need to specialize at a 5K turkey trot, at a Hyrox, at any of these modalities, and be able to get out there and be not only okay, but super competent. And I think a lot of our runners in the last year especially have really shown that to be true. How are we preparing for Hyrox? And the reason why I think both of you guys can speak to this is because, you know, you're going to do some of your preparation in affiliate classes. Yes. And then you're going to do some of your preparation with Benny in, you know, the in-person running sessions on Tuesdays, or just following his running plan if you're remote or whatever the case is. But then we have another very special, unique aspect to our programs, and that's the burn class. So let's start with Ben. Ben, like from the running aspect, how can these guys continue preparing?
Show up to my class. Seriously, it's, you know, we talked about CrossFit in running. There's no magic formula other than showing up consistency, right? You can't expect results without putting in the work. So if you have been following my program, well, let's just take a step back. Say you haven't been following my program all year and you want to jump in. I listen to this podcast. I'm ready to go. What do I got to do? Start with 2 days a week, a Tuesday track session if you live in Miami, or you can do it on your own remote, because I'm going to be working two different areas of the body, right? We're going to be working with our anaerobic, which is our high intensity, and our aerobic, which is more of like our threshold running. With that combination, there's no reason that the running portion of the Hyrox, it's not going to sound easy, but it would almost be like a break, right? You could catch your breath and refocus and feel confident that you're not stressed, right? Because one of the things about running is once you start getting stressed, your heart rate goes up, you start thinking about other things, you're not focused. So, you know, showing up to the class on Tuesday and doing the run on the weekend, or if you have to do 3 days, I can program for you that as well, but would suffice or be sufficient enough with Thomas's classes to get you from beginning to end without any issue.
Tommy, burn me.
We're going to do a little shift on the burn classes. It's going to be literally specific for Hyrox, just for the upcoming weeks until Hyrox. So you're going to see more specific things like farmer's carries, running intervals, ski, lunges, sled pushes, or sled drags, right? Everything. So if you want to get ready for Hyrox, it's as simple as literally just take the class, the burn classes, and affiliate.
Starting to look at how burn interacts with affiliate. Previously, some of these programs have stood alone, and we've done some of those things intentionally. This time, since we're advocating that you guys take affiliate, do run workouts, and you're going to burn when you can, they're going to have a greater relationship on how one feeds into the other a bit more. Another big thing is you guys can expect a schedule change. Yes. And let everybody know that there will be a schedule change. And the reason, Coach Benny's Tuesday evening class crushes. It's one of the best initiatives we have put together in quite some time. And burn class just so happens to be at the same exact time as Benny's class. So we're going to go through a bit of a schedule change to make sure everybody has an opportunity to participate in both. Whatever gym you're in, whether it's Miami, Fort Lauderdale, or you're following us remotely, you'll be able to plug and play, do affiliate, do burn, run, etc. And it's kind of make a lot of sense to everybody when they see the full plan. Coach Ben, can someone do both? You and Tommy are doing both. What if you're like first year in CrossFit? You know, what if you like just started in the new year and you're just learning about all this crap? Can you do the open and Hyrox? And what will that be like?
So yeah, you absolutely can. I think, CrossFit had this shift, and I'm probably outdating myself when it went from, when you and I started, is you either had the skill or you didn't. You would stop a minute into the workout, or you would stop. So when they added these scalable things, it became accessible to everyone, right? So people are always afraid. They see these really fit people, and they're like, oh, how can that be me? But CrossFit is now in a position where they've done it so that everyone can do it. They have adaptabilities, they have scales where everyone can do it. Why is it that, why do I got to pay for a 5K race when I can just go run on my own, right? It's the competition. It's maybe not the competition with someone else, although I've been on the same leaderboard with Sean for the last 10 years. It's just me and him. It's not, but at least for you, we'll see where you're at, where your fitness level's at. That's something that I stress to the runners is, why do I sign up for a race? It's not about anyone else. It's about you, what you can achieve, mental fortitude. So I think it's very accessible for anyone to do CrossFit Open. Now, that being said, the time span between the two, it's a perfect segue into Hyrox. So if you continue to do the program, right? So it's like you have running on one side, you have affiliate on the other side, the burn comes together. That's kind of like the brainchild to kind of see where you're at. If you follow that program, by the time that comes around, the opens pass, you'll be ready 100% for Hyrox. Now, how fast you go, that's fine. We're not expecting you to win Hyrox and go to Worlds, right? You're looking to compete against yourself and see how good you do. So any individual coming in, today, day one, sees this podcast, says, I want to do that, they can absolutely do it. And we'll get you there. I mean, you guys know me and Thomas. We're always there to answer questions and help you guys out. We're not just here to program and say good luck. We want to hear from you guys, and we do ask for you guys to see, if we have to make changes for that individual or for a certain group. So it's definitely achievable for both. The way we planned it out, anyone can do it.
When is the open? Where are we doing workout number 3 in the open?
First of all, the registration opens on the 14th, so in 3 days. So yeah, you could literally register the 14th. And then the first day of the open is February 26th. So it's 3 weeks, so it will be the week of the 27th, then the March 6th, and March 13th. Now, where we're doing the 26.3, we're doing it at Wodapalooza. We're doing it live at the competition. Yeah, so
Nice.
if you register for Wodapalooza, then you're doing it. The live announcement is gonna be at Wodapalooza, and then if you're registered, then you will be doing it either Friday or Saturday, I'm pretty sure.
There's going to be a stage at Wodapalooza for the CrossFit Games Open that will be running the CrossFit Games Open workout all weekend long. So to my knowledge, the way that will work is you're going to show up and you're going to put your name down, and that you're going to do your 26.3, your third open workout for 2026 at Wodapalooza. And potentially be able to share the stage with a professional athlete there in the middle, and you'll be able to experience all of that hype with everybody. And also, people participating and competing in Wodapalooza are also doing their third workout at Wodapalooza as a score for Waza. So it will work for both. It's going to be something new that has never been done, which is super
cool.
dope.
I'm excited. I'm gonna do it.
Yes,
So.
that's where the open ends. The open ends at Waza, right? Then what?
And after that, if you're top 25%, then you qualify for the quarterfinals. And if you didn't make it, then it's over. But you do have Hyrox, right? You have a Hyrox starting April 3rd through the 5th. Depends on what division you're doing. If you're doing singles, then you go Friday. If you're doing doubles or mixed, you go Saturday. And then if you're doing open division, then you go Sunday open division. I'm
So
pretty
that's
sure that makes up.
there's about 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks in between Waza and Hyrox, right? Something
Yes.
like that. 2 to 4 weeks in between Wadapalooza and Hyrox, and what everybody can expect to see the turn in
2 weeks,
burn
yeah.
class at that point is there we will start to do more specificity. You can expect a full Hyrox run through, maybe some half Hyroxes, more specific, less general WOD like stuff, and more specific looks at Hyrox post Waza until your Hyrox competition. We've been on this for 35 minutes. This is much longer than I thought it was going to be.
No.
Yes,
Thank
one
you for
more
having
thing.
me.
We didn't talk about this, but show up for Friday Night Lights for the Open, right? The Open is going to be announced on Thursday, but everyone gets together on Friday. Please show up. It will be super fun, right? Get everyone together, cheer on your teammates, your friends, and me.
Guys, that experience is like one that, if you've never been there, it's like nothing else. I mean, I can't really compare it to any other experience. And since we're only doing 2 in the gyms, that's 2 Fridays you guys have to commit
That's
to.
it.
And we truly expect, look at those balloons. Where did
I
that
know how you did that.
Yeah, that's weird.
We really expect strong attendance. We want to see any and everybody. Kids, masters, I mean, you name it, across the board. Ability, disability. Come cheer people on. Judge, help, cheer. Like, the energy is what is needed on those Fridays.
Yeah, for sure.
We love you very much. Thank you very much. And we'll see you guys soon. Peace out. Thank you, gentlemen.